Okay.
So you asked what this is. This is a 1968 Ford Country Squire wagon, and we just brought this car into the shop from Indiana. The owner is converting it. You'll notice the livery is black roof, red fire engine, red sides. That's because this is being converted into what would have been the Battalion 12 Chicago Fire Chief's wagon. These were mobile command centers, basically. In the late 1960s, the battalion chief would ride as the passenger. A junior fireman would be the chauffeur, and the chief had all the radios and equipment and emergency gear in here for his fire team on site, including extra oxygen, a stretcher, and things like that for his own people in case they get injured on scene. And this was really the command apparatus. So it would have, the full light bar on it. It would have the red and green flashing lights and all the other things that were unique to the Chicago Fire Department. But as you can see, inside, it's a really nice car. It's powered by a 390 V8, and this is not the original, what they called fire buggy, or chief's buggy, but it is the closest representation that can be found. The owner is an absolute purist when it comes to historical accuracy. So this car apparently has been an in-progress project for almost 10 years. And he has just been to hell and back with this car, trying to get all the details as perfect as possible.
How's he all into like fire cars?
He was a police officer formerly, but he got into fire vehicles through friends of his around Chicago. And then when he moved to Indiana, he ended up taking charge or basically becoming the new curator of a 1970 Cadillac ambulance, which we're doing the upfit, we're doing the lights and sirens and all the electronics and designing the electrical grid and everything else that Eric's going to do for this car. And once that's done, supposedly he may be sending us his 70 Cadillac ambulance to do next. That needs some odds and ends. So we're very glad. It's taken us 4 months after going through a 6-month process of negotiating with him and talking about the project. We went all the way out to his house several months ago to actually look at the project and see was it feasible. And we decided rather than take any risk, let's go out there, actually look at the blueprints, look at the photos, look at the car in person. He even has spots on it that we were familiar with where he's even marked out where things go.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of the research, he's done a lot of the preparation for this car, but he needed a specialist.
Right.
People that were willing to help him outside greater Chicago area, northern Indiana, they said, he said what he really needed was a shop that was professional, that was organized, that was insured. More than anything, to make sure that when this project happens, it gets done right the first time, because it's been through a few orientations where it got done and then it had to be redone. So that's one of the reasons this project has taken him so long to achieve, and because he won't compromise on a single detail. If something like on the roof, the lighting accessories were incorrect, if they were off by like 6 inches, he had the entire thing redone at his own expense, great expense, but he said it wasn't right. So that was one of the reasons he brought the car to us, saying that he believed he had enough faith and trust that, from our experience, with vintage emergency vehicles, police cars like this one, that he's been following us on Facebook and following our adventures with the shop. He's like, yeah, you guys, I think I want my car finished by you guys.
Yeah, well, that's sweet that he found you guys. Heck yeah. And a lot of confidence putting it under the Brontosaurus with no blanket or anything.
Yeah, well, I put the catch pins under it.
Yeah.
Redesigned in. But yeah, especially since we broke this thing.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. It's going to take some time for us to fix that car now, which is ironic since I got the next video showing how we got it running.
Yeah.
And then we floored it one too many times, and then we blew apart the motor.